Okay, so Instagram won't let me upload a 12-minute video, so I'm gonna try to make this testimony quick. It's very important to me, and hopefully it's important to you, and you take it as the truth because it is the truth to the best of my remembrance. This is regarding a supernatural paranormal experience that I had in my life in my younger years. 27 today, this was probably back around age 18, 19 years old. I was in Columbus, Ohio. I was at the library off Hudson and Cleveland Avenue, and I'm in the entrance. And a guy by the name of Lorenzo Weaver, he comes up and he puts his arm around me. He's like, "Hey, brother, are you prepared for Jesus to come back or return or something like that?" And all of a sudden I had like this, I don't know, I just start feeling bad about all the iniquities that I knew of, that I was committing or have committed at the time. And eventually I'm gonna get to the point where Lorenzo is baptizing me because I asked him to baptize me at a house I was staying at. I was staying at a guy by the name of Daymans Brown. I was staying at his house, and I had Lorenzo come over and baptize me in the bathtub. And I can't remember if it was before the baptism or after, but what I do remember is the actual experience, the actual supernatural phenomenon happening. So let me explain how Daymans' house was in Columbus, right? So he had a couch, right? So say his couch is right here, and across from the couch is a door. And then next to the left of the door is a tower speaker, right? And then in front of the couch was a table. And then on the table had a candle with 3 wicks lit in the candle. So anyways, it's a strange experience to think back on. But I remember Lorenzo sitting on the couch. I'm standing up in front of him on the other side of the table, I believe. And all of a sudden, the wicks that were lit on fire on the table, you know how fire usually just flows up, right? Normally, unless there's a wind. There was no wind, nothing. All of a sudden, something manipulated the fire, and instead of flowing up, it changed its position, and they all went slanted, and then started rotating like in a circle, like going in a circular motion. So I'm like, I've never witnessed this before in my life. I'm looking at it, and I look at Lorenzo. I'm like, "Hey, you see this?" And he's like, "Whoa." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "That's Ahâyâh. He likes fire." Now, I didn't know who Ahâyâh was, what Ahâyâh is. Praise be to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So he explained to me that Ahâyâh was the name of the God of Israel. And then he had went on Google and researched it and showed me. But like I said, I had no knowledge of any of that. So anyways, that was one thing that happened during the experience. And then I'm trying to hurry this up because we had 3 minutes. But another thing that happened during the experience was the tower speaker that was over in the left-hand corner. We wasn't playing music. I don't even know if the thing was plugged up, to be honest with you. But then all of a sudden, it started making a high frequency pitch noise, like, for real. And then another thing that happened during this experience, I heard something thump on the roof. I don't know if that had anything to do with anything. But the atmosphere changed, right? I'm not an astronaut. I've never been to space. But to describe what I experienced, I usually tell people it was like being in space. The atmosphere literally changed. So that was one thing. And then another thing that happened was my voice. At some point during this interaction, my voice had changed. It sounded like I had a multitude in me. It made me feel powerful. It felt very strong, mighty. But I couldn't tell you that's me because I don't believe so. And now looking back on the whole experience all around, and any of the details I'm leaving out, right? Looking back at the whole experience all around, I don't even know if that was from God. I've done research. I've read books. I've listened to testimonies from exorcists, from people that have been possessed, and all types of different things. And I'm gaining a conclusion that it could have been from Satan. And even if it was from Satan, it proves not only that Satan is real, but that proves God is real by default, right? But anyways, that's pretty much everything that happened in that experience. I remember getting a little confused at one point during the experience, and I took a seat. But the experience didn't go on forever. It ended up stopping at some point in time and things going back to normal, so to speak. And I just want to put that out there to y'all, to the Instagram world, to Facebook, whatever, whoever. I want to put this out to the world because there may be some people out here going through similar things or paranormal things, and you're not alone. You are not alone, and you're not crazy, because having Satan's way, he'll try to convince us all that we're nuts. You're mentally ill. You're schizophrenic. Like I was diagnosed as a schizophrenic. How could I possibly be schizophrenic when I have a witness who witnessed the same thing as me at the same time? Are we both schizophrenic? But those are words that people that don't believe in God, nor Satan, nor the Bible, or anything paranormal, supernatural use. They use, oh, he's schizophrenic. It's a mental illness. A mental illness can manipulate a fire to change its natural direction and use. Like, come on now. Schizophrenia can make all these paranormal things happen. So I want to put that out there. Anyways, Christ bless y'all and keep y'all. Peace.